Our final fight of the evening brought to you by Tafalino's. Tafalino's Mexican restaurant, located in Denver, is the official caterer of the SCL VIP area tonight. Thank you, Tafalino's.
And this final fight is a women's 129-pound professional fight. Shannon Sinn wearing the black gear, facing off against Gina Begley wearing the black and pink gear. And Begley has a decided height and reach advantage, but she is not using it as they stand toe-to-toe to mix it up.
Really crisp work right there from Begley, as she landed a nice, quick combination on Shannon Sinn.
Sinn starting to settle in a little bit, rushed across the ring to get this fight started. Now she's picking her shots a little better and to good effect.
Gina Begley has some reach on Shannon Sinn there.
4 2-minute rounds here in this professional fight. Fighters are wearing 8-ounce gloves this evening. And Sinn willing to step forward, go through the danger zone in order to cross that gap, get her power shots in. Both these fighters, you can tell from the weigh-in pictures, supremely well-conditioned athletes.
Yeah, very much so. And a nice lead jab right there from Gina Begley. Really kind of throwing Shannon Sinn off right now early in the fight.
And Begley, nice job of leaning off center line and coming with the twisting uppercut. A little bit of a corkscrew move there. And really landed well for her. Let's see if that's a pet technique that she goes back to.
I like the way she's rolling her shoulders a little bit here too early in this fight, gauging that distance from Shannon Sinn and able to throw combinations as Shannon Sinn is coming in, JR.
And Sinn stepped forward, landed nicely with that overhand right, and then back out of range. I think Sinn might be a little better served to stay on the inside once she gets there. 10-second clacker sounded, and Begley able to get off with some good shots, backing Sinn up, but Sinn answers nicely to end the round.
Good first round from both ladies. Once again, wanted to give a shout out to all of our sponsors today. Last Call Tavern, Spartan Labs Online, Tafalino's Mexican Restaurant, and Elite Auto Detailing. Thank you all for being such a huge part of Sparta Combat. We greatly appreciate your involvement with us, and we hope to make you proud. Second round just about underway here, JR. As we have Gina Begley taking on Shannon Sinn here as our main event for SCL Boxing Redemption.
129-pound main event. And what we saw in round number 1 is Sinn, when she closes that gap, gets in tight, she flurries well with her punches and scores. Begley, when she's able to keep the fight at a distance, she can pick her shots a little bit, and that's where she scores well. I know the corners of both of these fighters have seen that, so we'll see how the game plans play out.
I like the way that I'm seeing Gina Begley move her head and shoulders as she's gauging distance here in this second round. Never a still target for Shannon Sinn.
And that's pretty wise, because Sinn definitely likes to come through with the power shots, and you don't want to be a stationary target when that hard punch comes in. And there's that in-close fighting, mixing it up nicely. Begley a little better with her hands staying busy on the inside than she did in the first round, but that's where Sinn wanted it to be, and she landed to nice effect there.
Yeah, and you would figure that a longer fighter like Gina Begley would want to keep the fight outside, but when she's in tight and in the pocket here, she's landing effectively.
Nice right hand for Sinn. And corner of Sinn saying, you've stunned her a little bit, pressure forward, but Begley continues with that nice footwork that you referenced, Ron, and just not letting herself be a stationary target. Sinn has tried multiple times to back her against the rope or to put her into the corner, and Begley just continues to move her feet. Oh, and a nice step in. Power shot by Sinn lands, and she goes to work. Begley is stunned here. She's on wobbly legs. Referee Tom Johnson telling her she needs to fire back, and just in time she does, because there was a chance of an 8 count going into effect there. 10-second clacker, and Sinn, having the best scoring techniques of the fight here, puts together about a 40-second combination.
Outstanding second round for Shannon Sinn. Wow. Wow. These girls have the crowd on their feet. Gina Begley taking a good look at her right now in between rounds. You would wonder if she's really rattled and hurt, but I think she's okay. The question's going to be for Shannon Sinn is her conditioning. She's taking some big, deep breaths right now in between the second and third round here. Gina Begley looks very calm, cool, and collected in between rounds. Takes a lot of energy to throw that many punches, and hard punches at that. So we'll see how this third round shakes out for Shannon Sinn. But JR, you referenced it earlier that both these girls are in outstanding shape, and that's why you're seeing these girls not panicking. Third round just about underway here as both corners exit. Referee Tom Johnson. It's going to be interesting to see if Shannon Sinn jumps on Gina Begley. Oh, and Gina Begley with a nice left-right combination.
They tell you it is impossible to land effectively as you're backing up, and Begley just proved everybody wrong with that.
And has been doing it all night. You know what? One of the really determining factors in that second round was when we saw Shannon Sinn commit to the offense. When she committed to the offense, she got some really good, hard combinations to land inside, and that kind of threw off Gina Begley for the end of that second round. JR, do you see the same thing?
Yeah, really good call there, Ron. And Sinn just did about another 5-punch combination of exactly the same thing. She was 100% committed to it, and when she throws with power, Begley has no option but to cover and try to circle out. And Sinn looks well recovered after that prolonged flurry.
Yeah.
Round number 1, we usually count combinations in punches for Sinn. I'm going to say we're going to count that one in number of minutes.
And I would say, you know, both girls are recovered. I mean, Gina Begley looks like she's in no problem here right now. But again, there's that commitment from Shannon Sinn to the offense, and when she does that, she lands hard.
Sinn in Colorado, known for having an outstanding MMA career, and what I'm seeing with these punches that she's using to set up these flurries is it's almost like she's setting up the Superwoman punch and then faking it and coming in underneath what would normally be the overhand of the Superman punch.
Big straight, heavy right hand again lands for Shannon Sinn. Gina Begley's got to get some offense going right now. And I think for Gina Begley, if she can work behind that jab, she can really confuse Shannon a little bit and maybe get some offense going. But she's going to have a big sense of urgency in the fourth and final round after this one as both these girls finish with a flurry. Oh! And now we're seeing some good breathing going on from both girls in the corner. I would have to say, if I'm judging, and I'm an unofficial judge at best, but I would say that Shannon Sinn's got control of this fight so far going into the final round. This one really depends on if Gina Begley can put together an offensive attack here to really stun Shannon Sinn and potentially finish her. I think she's going to need a finish to win this fight. And for Shannon Sinn, I think she's going to need to control this fourth and final round to get the nod. But a very entertaining fight nonetheless. Both these girls putting it out on the line right now as referee Tom Johnson gets ready for our fourth and final round. This has been a hell of a main event here for Sparta Combat Boxing Redemption.
Bell has sounded. We are off at the final round, and both these ladies step forward very quickly, very aggressively. Each of them wants the center of the cage.
You know, JR, if you're in Gina Begley's corner, what are you telling her?
Continue to work from the outside. Don't worry about being backed up because you're scoring well when you're backing up. Just keep the distance. Don't go to the toe-to-toe inside exchanges.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And I think that she's really going to have to go for a finish here.
And there again is that stutter step. It seems to be the footwork that Sinn uses to set that up that confuses Begley. It just freezes her for just a part of a second and allows Sinn to close the distance, land the initial punch.
And come in with power.
Which each time has been a stunning punch, and from there she follows.
Agreed, 100%. Great fight, though, so far in this main event. And there again, there's that commitment that we talk about.
And you saw Sinn loading up the right hand on that one. You could see it from about 3 steps out, but she came across nice with it. Still had it going to good effect because she had the left hand jabbing in the face of her opponent. And Sinn, initially in this fight, first, maybe third of round number 1, looked a little bit stiff, almost robotic, and as the fight has gone on, she has really loosened. She has really started to flow with her techniques, and that makes it very difficult for an opponent. You're looking at what your person across the cage is going to be trying to do, and you sort of set your game plan early in the fight, and then as the fight progresses, they change, and you find yourself trying to play catch-up. And I think that's what's happening with Begley here a little bit, as she uses the same footwork Sinn had used earlier. But I think Begley just not able to adjust to the continuing adjustment of Sinn's game plan. 10-second clacker sounded. There's the bell. We're going to take it to the judges.
Great fight.
Give these ladies a standing ovation. Your winner by judges' decision, Shannon. Shannon Sinn. Give her a round of applause. Shannon, how do you feel making your professional boxing debut?
I feel awesome. That was fun.
Now you look pretty good on your feet. You look nimble. You used to ring a lot. How long have you actually been preparing for a crossover to boxing?
Just a crossover to boxing about 4 or 5 weeks.
Now, do you plan to continue professional boxing?
Yeah, in between my MMA fights, I want to keep boxing. Stay as busy as I can. I'm getting old and I want to fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shannon Sinn!
I just want to say thank you to all my family and friends, everybody who came out to support me. I appreciate it so much. It feels awesome to be able to fight at home again. So thank you. I love you. And I want to give some love to my sponsors. Tippa Fighter, Smile Logic over there in the corner, MMA Roadhog, Copper Rail Bar and Grill, which is where we'll be having an after party if you want to join. Legends of the Cage, Denver Chiropractic,